everyone had a great New Year's and Happy New Year, Happy 2020. 2019 was a fantastic year, and it's been it's been a great time interacting with you guys. We look forward to having even a better 2020. So stick around, and we'll all make some profits together. But starting off today, though, but I'm gonna hand it over to Joe. You got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I do. A couple of things. Number one, this is our 35th week, and we're hold on just a second. We're up for those 35 weeks as of Friday, 4,120.934%, 121.20 average on a weekly basis. This is the second day this week that we've been on. We'll be on today and tomorrow. No podcast today. And we were up on Monday, 3 trades, 28.49%. So actually, the way Mondays have gone recently, that's quite good. So we have a good day today. We can still have a really good week. One thing, since this is sort of the first day of our trading in 2020, let me remind you, if you're new to this service, you need to send an email to support@micromomenttrading.com with your name and cell phone number. The reason for that, when these guys break after the first session each morning, which usually runs from Central Time from 8:30 to around 9:30 or so, 9:45, if they come back around noon, you will get an email or a text, not an email, but a text indicating that they're on their way back. This trading screen will stay up all day. It'll turn after this first session. The charts will turn just to a big blank blob, and that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. And if they come back, it'll go back to the charts and then disappear about 3 o'clock Central Time, which is into the market day. The market's up substantially this morning. I don't have the numbers right in front of me.
I'm going to prep this call
Okay.
here. Try to get in there. Yep, I grabbed a bit of it there finally at 79. Tried to grab it at 73, 75, 76, but finally filled at 79, launching here. Set a quick sell to close here at 89.
Wow.
It's not going to fill though. It's pulling back now. And lots of adjustments. Finally filled out at 84. It's back up to 89 now.
That's fantastic, though.
Yeah, a good 5 cents there. Be careful today, guys. If you have not made a trade yet, that movement was absolutely insane. I started looking at it in the low 60s. Started trying to enter in the high 60s and realized how fast it was moving. Crazy. And it got all the way up to 89, pulled back to where I was flat. I was actually flat at 79 for a moment on the bid, and then it launched again to get me out. It's already at 92.
Yeah, guys, so we went ahead and got in there. Sorry about that little delay there, but got filled at 83 cents. We're sitting now at 86 cents. I got my sell to close at 87 and got filled at 88. Moved it up there to get one more quick cent, so 5 cents on that one. A lot of talking going on, so I didn't really mention what strike. I was on the 214.5 strike and got filled at 83 cents on the call, up to 98 cents now. Wow.
Yeah, same as me. We're on the 300 call. I apologize. Wanted to wait as long as I needed to interrupt, but didn't want to wait too long. So.
Hey, you guys had those fantastic trades.
Yeah, we might take one more crack at this call. The spread's large, but I mean, certainly moving enough to overcome it. So the main concern is reversal, not spread. And that reversal is probably going to be a doozy, so we're going to be a little bit ready for the put as well. We got very high E1, 2, and 3. Apple also gapped up $2.65 today. Keep in mind, guys. So we just went on a run above that. So absolutely flying right now.
Melissa says, good morning. These are our roaring 20s.
Yes, they are. All right, we're going to give it one more shot here. Ended up filling there at 127. Touch late. Tried to get in at 124, but again, didn't fill.
All right, guys, we are going to get back in as well on 214.5. Got filled there at $1.02, sitting at $1.05 right now.
Nice little push here on Apple. We're trying to see if it's going to break 298.
And we are out, guys, at $1.08.
You're out at $1.08.
Yeah, so 6 cents on that one.
We're out of the Apple at 131.
Wow.
Sorry for the crossovers, guys. On big move days, it's usually because the biggest moves come on the days that the markets are all moving together. Right? There's one big flush, and it's all agreeing and giving support. So that's a really big aspect of it is we want to we're on obviously often in the same moves. So I apologize for the stepping on each other a little bit that we do, but when we do buy those same moves, we try to just throw in the words out and get in where we can. So
Yeah, the Apple was up 3.15 and the Q was up 5.88. Fantastic.
Perfect. Good trades. I hope this is an indication for this year's volatility. I really do. I'm going to roll through some of these questions. Oh yeah, Melissa says, morning, these are our rolling 20s. Absolutely. Happy New Year, Melissa. She said, would you touch on today how earnings... Oh, I got a big echo coming through.
I'm not sure whose that is.
Yeah. Test. It's pretty
Not
good.
me, I don't think.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Would you touch on today how earnings affect what we do here? Thank you. Absolutely. Earnings are great, other than the day before and the day of. Well, honestly, the week of it just inflates the crap out of the prices, because a lot of people will size into stock positions, and they will use some complex option strategies for protection because of how intense those moves can be. So with the earnings moves, I mean, a lot of the time we don't play what has earnings that week because that week's expiration is, $4 until Friday. And sometimes still $3 on Friday, I've seen. So that's the only really thing that happens. It brings some increased volatility, which if we go, if we're able to find a strike that's even purchasable, we can kind of take advantage of that. But yeah, increased volatility, and the week of is pretty much unplayable as far as price goes. So what we want is the whole market to get active, because that's another perk about focusing on one symbol, right? Apple or Q or, SPY. If you get really good with it, then when Apple has its 1 week of earnings, yeah, there's 1 week, but the rest of the time, the rest of the earnings season is just big movement, lots of market volatility, and we get to enjoy it because we only trade IWM, or we only trade sorry, I mean, things like Microsoft. Like if you're an ETF, like if you enjoy the equity side of this strategy, then it's a great, it's just a great period of volatility. So, Kathy says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Kathy. Happy and profitable New Year to everyone from Tim. Happy 2020 from Martha. Guys, thank you. And Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year, guys.
Tim rolled right with us. You got 8 cents on the call on Q from 80 to 88.
Nice.
Very nice. Michael, nice. 106 to 112 on Q call. Filled my bracket almost instantly. Yeah, that's a funny thing about brackets. Is if you use them on swings like that, where it's just absolutely flying, you'll send it. And Tony, didn't you have like an 8-second trade the other day, like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was nuts. Fastest trade ever. And
flying. That happens sometimes. Keeping an eye on this put as well. Just so you know, checking it out at probably the 295. Big transfer going on here. From call to put, a lot more movement though.
We're gonna look at the 215.5 put.
Not great news for Apple, guys. That was moved down about 20 cents, 15, 20 cents pretty actively, and it did not get through 122. Pretty much stayed put. And then when we did the same reversal, we dropped about 6, 7, 10 cents now. So pretty limited volume. Yeah, so we have on the volume column on your option chain, you can see we're at 3, 2, and 1,000 on the put volume, whereas we're at 8, 9, and 8,000. So we're about triple the volume. Makes it, that gives us an indication of the bias, which is obviously a very standard thing. We're up huge on the day. The whole market's green. Of course, the bias is going to be on the call. But what it does is messes with the actual delta. So we have, the delta displayed of 33 cents, but it doesn't move quite the same amount. So whenever the volume is way heavier on the opposite side of what you're playing, you'll see a lot harder pullbacks. Like for instance, that when it finally does turn around, it just pulls 10 cents from the option price, and then a lot more struggled gains. It'll slowly tick up a lot lower than the actual delta.
Good stuff. Welcome, Brian. I think Micah just talked about yours, but you said you're a new guy. Welcome, Brian. Welcome all the new listeners. We actually have a lot of new listeners since we started our promotion. So a lot of you guys are new and are eager to start off 2020 making some great returns. We've had some great successful stories from our listeners and subscribers. So I'm sure you guys will be able to enjoy the same benefit as what they've been able to do. And it just takes a little bit of time, but once you get down the premise and the fundamentals and the strategy holistically, it becomes easier as time goes on. So welcome to you guys, all you new listeners and new subscribers. So
absolutely.
Yep. Hey Michael, where did you leave off at?
The Martha right above Brian.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, Brian says
Oh
he's a
no,
new.
sorry, Martha's trade, her Q trade.
Oh, did you mention it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Martha's got a 58 to 69 Q trade. Good job, Martha. That's fantastic numbers. Brian, we've just been talking about there, asked for any intro instructions. Yeah, so touch briefly on while we're kind of keeping an eye out on this put. We are going to look at the three main things we look at is E1, E2, and E3. Okay, we want every one of those lines to be in agreement. E1 is a faster or a shorter time reaction, I guess you could say, and E2 is a little longer, and E3 is the longest. So we want E1 to E1 helps us predict in like the next 5 minutes or so. E2 next, I don't know, 15, and then E3 maybe the next 20. That's just a rough estimate, but so that's why we look at those in sequential order there. And what we need is agreement. Right now we have E1 red below blue going down in lowering in the case. Okay, that's a put position. However, E2 is still high in the case, and red is over blue, and the bias is the put there, but it's not moving down yet, and E3 is still in a call position. So what we want is E1 to be in a position, E2 to be in the same position as E1, and then E3 to be in the same position as the other two lines there. So that's what we look for. If it's high in the case and it's overlapping, the bias is heavily towards the put position, because what we call that is it's in an overbought position, and so it's really high in the case and shows us that it's being heavily traded right now and heavily bought. So it goes to the overbought position. Once you're in that overbought position, the bias and tendency is to then break down into a sold position, which is the put. Okay, and vice versa. If it's really low in the case, like E1 is there, it's what we call oversold. Okay, oversold is the bias is towards the call because we got a lot of room to move back upward in that case. Okay, we don't worry about the numbers on the right there in the middle of your screen, but we just pay attention to where the positions are of E1, 2, and 3, and the lines in those positions. We make sure that's all correct, and then after we've gathered that information, then we go and look at the lines that you see up in the graph there. We look at the tick. Mostly, where's the tick in relationship to M1, the thick white line, and then where's it in relationship to the Bollinger Bands? And so that's the kind of just a quick intro to micro moment trading and the type of trading that we do, and have been teaching now for almost 10 months now. So so that's a little recap what we're looking at. Now, I highly recommend getting a book. It's called Advanced Trades for High Probability. Advanced Techniques for High Probability Trading. Advanced Techniques. Yeah. Joe wrote it, and it's available all over the internet pretty much. Advanced Techniques for High Probability Trading. And chapters 8 through 11 or 7 through 10, somewhere over there, I think it's 8 through 11, are the main chapters to be focused on. It kind of goes into like I said previously, a holistic viewpoint of the strategy, and then we fill in all the details here on the webinar. And so
you can get that on Amazon, and you can buy the regular book. But you can also they have an ebook, which is a lot cheaper, and obviously you get it instantly. So
Yeah. So check that book out, guys. Highly recommend it. And
And if any of that sounds overwhelming, Brian, or like, a lot of information that was confusing, you just pretty much heard it all. So I know it sounds confusing right now, but the rest of this whole time is just that on repeat, I swear. And it'll get boring quickly as you figure it out.
did y'all read Deshaun's report on SPY?
no, I'm still stuck on.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were already passed. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, no. We'll get down there in just 1 second. We're talking about Brian's question there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna rifle through some of these guys. While I was rambling there, if you guys entered in the put on Q, that would have been probably a quick 2 or 3 cents on that one. Didn't really get much support from E2 there, but the put there on Q was pretty decent. But anyway, Ed got 5 cents on the Q call. Martha, Q call 70 to 79 again. Nice, Martha. Michael says great movement today. Another good Q call, 107 to 111. Nice, Michael. It's really good. Really good stuff there. Tim, +3 on Q. Love opening the new year like this. Oh yeah. 100%, Tim. That's awesome. Let's see here. Man, I do not want to butcher this name because I don't want to mispronounce it, but I'll just say Indy. Indy said this was my first day. I did not hear the trades clearly called out. Please indicate if we can get information in advance for the tardy call outs.
Trade call outs.
What's that?
Trade call outs.
Oh, trade call outs. Okay. What was the Q trade this morning? Thank you. Yeah. So to answer your question real quick, when there's a lot of volatility and a lot of volume occurring, that's when we make a lot of our trades. And so what happens is we will be a little delayed in when we get filled because we don't want to boggle you guys down with all the lingo. All right, guys, I'm going to prep this here, and then I'm going to try to enter here, and it didn't get filled. All right, let's try to re-enter. That's just too much talking. So what we do is like, hey, we're looking at a certain strike, okay, and we usually say, hey, we're going to prep this strike, and we do that well enough in advance for everybody, and then we enter, wait for it trying to get entered. Once it's entered and it's filled, then we announce that it got filled. And sometimes there's a couple cents, 2 or 3 cents that have accrued since our fill and since our announcements. It's just that's the most simplest and streamlined way we can mention. It gets too hectic. There's too much going on. We're trying to teach the strategy first and foremost, and so and so that's kind of what occurs. And so if we try to mention, hey, we're trying to get it entered here, it didn't get filled, all right, let's move it back. I mean, if we went through the whole exact process every time, it would just be chaos and a lot of people would be confused. So so yeah,
And
there
also
might
the speed at which this happens to Indy, like my trade today, my entry filled at 6:33:25 my time, so 6:33 and 25 seconds, and my exit filled at 6:33:50. So in 35 seconds, or am I reading that wrong? 35.
Yeah.
In just a few seconds, I had attempted well, starting a few seconds before that, I tried to get in at a better price. So I adjusted my fill price to enter 2 times, and then had a bunch of fluctuation, set a couple cells, and finally got filled at, I think, my second or third cell adjustment at 633.40, or yeah, 45, and it actually took another 5 seconds to fill. So in essentially 20 seconds, that all happened. So with 2 of us going, that's why we try to simplify. Is the speed of this is, and this isn't like boastful or anything. This is just like the fact of the matter. That's the number one thing you have to understand coming in, is the speed of this is something you guys haven't seen before. So there's a lot of differences in our day-to-day processes, the way we do the little things, because it's just so much faster. We've had 8 to 18-second trades on here. The max we are in something is like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a forever long trade for us. So that also severely limits our ability to like alert the trades. If it was something like this morning, we could say, yeah, we're getting in calls here. You should probably get in a call, but the to get it on the exact same minute, on the exact same moment when the whole trade is 18 seconds long is nearly impossible. So we want to teach you guys the strategy so you're able to do it with us and next to us. And the people that are willing to let go of the alert service mindset and learn the strategy are the people like Tim and Martha and Melissa and David times 3. We have a lot of Davids, but and you'll hear their returns. You'll hear their returns all morning. So that's the intro. The intro mindset talk, I guess, that we have to give, because it is different than anything you've ever seen. I guarantee it. So
let me add one thing here, because we had a lot of brand new people on here today that aren't aware of this. We talk about it all the time, but to verify that these things really are being done, we have now a corporate fund, which is brand new, which these guys are going to be trading. They're trading part of it right now and part of their own money, but they're trading real trade monies. Corporate fund, eventually they'll be doing that exclusively, and it will be audited. So I don't know yet if it's going to be weekly, monthly, semi-annually, how often to be audited, but that will back up that these trades are really real, and it'll be incredible because nobody does anything like this. So, okay.
Yep.
Y'all are at 21.82 right now. Equal trades, 2 apples, 2 Qs.
Nice. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Micah, you want to read some of these?
Yeah, totally. Sorry for interrupting you. I just wanted to
Oh, no, it's all good.
clarify that. That was one of our most common questions when we started up, and we didn't know the answers yet. This New Year's is nice because we have a bit of an influx of people coming in, and now we know what to say and what we're actually going after, because it's been, how long have we been a subscription, Joe, now? 8 months?
Well, subscription, this is the beginning of the 35th week. We've actually been doing this for about 3 years, because Cesar and Johnny were doing it some time ago, just a little different technique.
Yeah.
But listen, you're never at a loss for words. So I don't see how you just said that sometimes you don't know what to say.
I'm never at a loss for words, but the quality of the words Tony and I are chaining together is increasing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Tony and I are not naturally teachers. Tony did some sales. I did some, interaction-based work back in the day, but we're getting better at that as well. So.
Yeah. I'm in the military now, actually, everybody that is just curious. So I like to mention that because there may be some times I might have to step away for a little bit due to training and stuff. But anyway, yeah, Mike, you want to finish, pick up some of these?
Of course. From Jason, Tony, on those earlier moves, you entered Q twice when E1 was high in the case and turning flat. So why did you enter? I would appreciate more teaching when the indicators aren't agreeing, so I can understand what you're seeing. Thanks.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for that question there, and a good question. Now, if you go back to like 932 to 930, like 7, maybe even 36. Those were the trades that the two trades that I made, and in that time frame. Now, if we go back and look at the position of the E lines, you got E2 in a call position, pretty solid call position for E2. E3 is very strong call position. Okay, each one of those, like I just mentioned previously, have a longer prediction period. So once E3 gets into, or E2 gets into that call position and stays like that for that amount of time, and that strongly, we know, and then if you look at E1 here at 931 to 936, E1 is still slightly in that call position. So knowing that E2 and E3 were going to be, in a call position for a good amount of time, I decided to just, take the shot and get in. Now, the other thing you want to pay attention to is where is it in relationship to the M1 line, which is the white line. And in this case, and the Bollinger Bands, but in this case, more the M1 because it's already inside the Bollinger Band. And so the next clue we look for is, what's the distance between M1? Does it look like M1's about to, does it look like it's flattening out? Kind of, is that momentum phase about to die off and birth a new one? And it did finally crossed each other, and it did at like 946. So there was about 10 minutes or so between my last entry and when it went into that put position. So anyway, we look at, and if you look at, let's see here, 939, okay, it goes into that put position here, red below blue. Now it's not strong enough, and we look at this. This is a big point that I need everyone to look at and understand. This is when E1 is not strong enough. This is the setup you see, and what I mean by that is when E1 breaks down red below blue, and the momentum is not strong enough to drag E2 or E3, then you know that that's a short-lived momentum strain of whatever E1 is. And we look at it here at like 940, 941. We look at the M lines are all crossing each other. The ticks it's all meshed together there. Then it breaks down really briefly for about 5 minutes. Then it heads right back upward. Okay, so when we're in these positions of like super high volume, it's and then we're having E1 powerful enough to pull down E2 and E3 into the same position. That's a great position to enter. But if we're watching E1 oscillate and break up and down the average line here, the blue line, and it's not really affecting E2 and E3, we know that in a longer run of things that there's not going to be a real significant put action here. If you go back to 941, we know that it, because it broke down at 939, okay, or 940, broke down on E1, broke below blue there. It was not strong enough to even move hardly E2 or E3. I mean, they're just now overlapping and in put bias positions. Okay, so that's something that's it's kind of like an advanced teaching there. That's a lot of info there, but if you've been with us for a while, you should understand what I'm trying to convey here, and it should make sense. So we talk about all the time, E1 really had a lot of power and moved E2 and E3. That's not how it works. If you break down the technicalities, that's not how it works, but that's just the language we use. It's the momentum that's moving E1, 2, and 3. So if the momentum is strong enough, E1, 2, and 3 will all move about the same time. If the momentum's strong enough, E2 and E3 will stay in a prolonged put or call position, and then we kind of just look at E1 to see, how long can this thing really last, et cetera, et cetera. And we just try to, and then what it comes down to is just entering the trade. You're not going to get, a full-on 100% agreement of every single aspect of the strategy, each trade. You have to take little bits of information and seek out certain patterns that occur often and make your trades there. And eventually you're going to be, really good at this. So, but that's a lot of detailed info there. But for our new listeners, I tried to explain that this most simply as I could. And so I hope that helped.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with him as well. And, the thing to remember at the end of the day, and I tell people this often, but it's a little bit pessimistic, is that at the end of the day, we are trading the stock market. And no matter all of the technique, the strategy, all that, you do not know for sure, guaranteed 100% what it's going to do next. You never do, ever. And anybody that thinks they do is probably a part of the 90% of the market that loses money. It's not a coincidence, because everybody, what are they doing? Everybody's predicting. Everybody's saying, oh, it's going to hit this by this time. Oh, Apple's going to, 350 by yada, yada. Everybody, the whole market is just a bunch of people trying to predict it. If you realize that you can't predict what's going to happen, that's why we brought the time frame to so close. Because the farther out you get, the harder it is to predict. But right now is when you have the highest chance of being able to see far enough into the future, likelihood anyways. We increase that winning probability so much and then hardly take any losses because of how we set up our losses. So we just have to, be confident in that and realize that we're playing the long-term game with small wins over time.
Let me say one thing to sort of reinforce what you just said in 2,000 words. In 20 words, when you look at the market in the morning and you see it up, you see it down, it makes no difference to us. We don't care which way it goes. When it opens, we're prepared to go either way. And because we're not worried about trying to capture appreciation or depreciation or anything, we're just going to capture that spread. So, okay. See that? 20 words, Micah.
Impressive. Very impressive. Very eloquent.
All right, guys, I want to mention this real quick, kind of feeding off what Micah said and what I said earlier. Guys, you can still enter positions when Jason mentioned this, why did you enter when E1 was so high? E1 was so high in the case, yes, but it was still in a call position. Okay? If it's high in the case and red's above blue, that's still a call position. But what we know about that is that call position won't last very long. Because, there's, the ceiling is right there and it'll just bounce right off that ceiling like 95% of the time. So it's still in that call position. I entered when they were all call positions and tried to only get, 4 and 5 cents on some of these, but got a little bit more than that on each of those trades. So I wanted to mention that. So we can clarify. It's just whenever it's high in a position and it's a call, or high in the case and it's a call, we know the time frame, it won't last very long. So that's when we, say, all right, I'm only going to get 2 or 3 cents out of this trade. Okay. Whereas, vice versa, if it's really low in the case and it's a call, there could be a potential for a big trade there. So that's what happened there. Anyway.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to fly through some more of these questions, try to catch up. Deshaun got 6 cents on SPY. For me, 6 cents on SPY call for me. 7% incredible entry fill. minus 2 cents than my entry limit. Wow. So you got a 2 cent beneficial fill. That's awesome.
Wow.
Really good, Deshaun. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Larry, 4 cents on the Q call, got out too early. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about that first call, I think we all got out too early. I mean, I bought it at, is that the same strike? Sold it at 80 cents and rebought it like $1.27. So
Yeah.
craziness. David, good morning and happy new year. There he is.
David.
Ended year and started this one with trades that were gains, both based on your charts and your teachings. Hey, you made the trades, David, so good work.
Yeah.
Martha welcomes Brian. Brian says, thanks, happy new year. It's funny, the timing. Brian didn't say thanks to Martha. I think he's
Yeah.
thanks to us, but it just so happened that the following question. That's funny. Deshaun again. Settle down, Deshaun. You're doing too good. You're supposed to be a newbie. Get out of here. 2 cents on SPY put for another 2%. Brian said, "Okay, thanks. Understood mostly. Good. Yeah, Brian. It'll all come around.
Get the book, Brian, and any new listeners, guys. Get the book and start reading those chapters. It provides in writing explanation that's really helpful to retain a lot of the information that we're trying to teach here. So get the book.
I'm gonna keep reading, but keep an eye on this put, guys. I got E1 breaking down, 1 and 2. Well, 2 just got red below blue, which we've been waiting for. We're super high in the case. We still have a strong green market, so don't jump into it haphazardly. But you see the long-term E3 indicator is also finally coming together. It's finally flattening out, breaking off its uptrend here. And flat is the step before crossing. So that's the bit of the predictive we have. So it looks like this call cycle is about done, and we'll be heading down here soon on Apple. Martha says, never ever boring. Hey, appreciate it, Martha, who's been around with us for a while, so she would know, I guess. That's awesome. Right. Brandon, 2 trades, up 9 cents for the day. Excited about 2020. Hey, it's a good first day, man.
Hey guys, we went ahead and decided to enter there the 215 strike put. We had that prepped and we entered at 89 cents. Just a bit ago there, got filled at 89. We got our settle close set at 93, waiting to still get filled on that, but it's well past that now. It was up to 96 there, so just waiting to get filled on that. Sure, there we go. Nice. Filled there at 92 cents, so 3 cents. Had to move it down to cent just to get that fill out, but got another 3 cents on that 215 strike put there. Just feeding right off of what Michael was saying. If we look at the lines, E2 and E3, very high in the case, overlapping the put or the bias there for that move is the put, because there's a lot of room in the case. Now E1 is really low, but still in a put position. So that's why we went ahead and entered there and only got 3 cents out of it, because could have got more, but didn't want to mess with it. It's up to 98 cents now. So if you guys entered when I started talking, you should have got in around 92, 91 maybe.
3.37%, that's good.
Yep. So a good move there, guys, but I wanted to go over that real quick.
Yeah, still plugging down. That was a great move. Very nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and I think I was talking about the put on Apple. It was at 297.56. I remember kind of mentally snapshotting. It came back up from 56 for a moment.
This is shooting down, guys. This is really taking
about 70 cents on that put call now that we
tried to get entered there at back at $1.18. That didn't work. Did not get filled there, but tried to get enter. So if you got in on this and stayed in, good for you. This is this is the same move, but in a put position as it was this morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, good stuff.
Yeah, let me know if anybody grabbed that Apple put. Good stuff indeed. Nice moves today too. I didn't know how it was going to be. Lots of factors affecting it, but nice moves. And that's the other thing is like day-to-day moves are very hard to tell. You know, how is earnings going to affect it? How is day before Christmas? How about day after New Year? What's, you know, how is that going to affect it up or down? It doesn't matter. Like Joe said, we just want it to go up or down. We want it to move. That's all we need. Brian says, what are the up-down arrows? That's called a PSAR. We don't use them too much. It's a kind of like just a general directional indicator, but for the time frame we trade, it doesn't really work. On some of the longer term momentum trades, they work great. But for our time frame, they're not quite relevant. So if you're looking for more of, you know, long term, but it doesn't take much to switch, which is showing as well. You see we had a green here and then red here before it was actually ready to move down. So we don't really pay much attention to them, to be honest.
Just a nice confirmation.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of the final steps, like a little bonus indicator. Brandon says both puts missed on the calls on his 2 trades for 9 cents.
Nice.
Yeah, the calls move fast, Brandon, so totally understand. Different David got 5 cents on 2 different SPY puts.
Nice, David.
Very nice work. Kathy got 7 cents on Apple. This was like 20 minutes ago. Very nice. Michael Awesome got a wash on the Q put earlier, and then a 91 to 99 Q call.
Awesome.
Hey, 8 cents on 91. It's almost 10%. Quick work, man.
Awesome.
Martha killing it, absolutely killing it. 66 cents to 73 cents. Nice work. That's like your second or third trade over 10% today, Martha?
Yeah, I think this is her third.
Yeah, very nice. From Indy, the strike selected was not too clear, but if you're selecting a call, is that ITM1 strike in the money? Yeah, so sometimes we're trying to get better about clarifying which strike we're on, so I apologize for that. We'll get better at that. And then for the times that we don't, how we select our strike is the number one thing we want to look at is around $1. We want to be around that dollar mark. It kind of takes care of the rest. It's a nice balance of high volume, a good delta, good, decent movement. So, you know, on Apple, we got the 297.5 put at 180, 190. 292.5 is all the way down at 42 cents. So we don't want to be too high because we have to wait for more of a move to get a decent percentage return. And we don't want to be too low because of the risk that goes with buying something at 44 cents. You know, every cent is like 2 or 3% down there. So it gets very risky and it can really blow up on you fast. So we want to have a little bit of that protection. So we want to be around $1 mark, and that usually lands us anywhere from 80 cents to $1.20. The delta ideally is around 40 or 50, but I mean, sometimes, you know, it's a Thursday, there's not as much volume. It's going to be 33 delta, something like that. That's fine as well. So, and then the last step, if you have 2 strikes that are very close to each other, so you got one at 70 cents and one at 90 cents, just go with the one with the higher volume for the day. You want the liquidity is very nice. So just bring up the volume column in your option chain so you can see that. That's kind of like the final deciding factor. So that's how we select our strike prices. But we'll still call them out, don't worry. Kenneth Kenneth says, Tony, what chapter numbers to concentrate on in the book you recommended?
Yeah, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's chapters 8 through 11. Somewhere near the end of the book.
8 through 11. And Joe, that is now a ebook, right? For a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and you can still buy the hard books. It's a lot more expensive. So.
Awesome. Martha says, thank you for your service, Tony.
Oh, my privilege, Martha. Thank you.
And you get a hoorah from Brian.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Awesome. Are you Army as well, Brian, or a different branch or anything? David says 5 cents on the SPY put. This is another one of our Davids. Then Deshaun.
He's at it again.
He's at it again, man. He's
Wow.
more and more bold. Deshaun used to be the king of 1-2% trade a day. He'd come on, he'd pull 2-3 cents, and then that's it. He just boom, got my consistency. That's it. But now he's really plugging. You got another 3 cents on the SPY put for 3.2%, puts him at 13% up for the day. Thanks for all the knowledge and opportunity.
He had to go dance. I think he dances less now.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Good work, Deshaun. It's been very clear to see your progress, and you're killing it. Keep at it.
Yeah, when you get down to the 4 questions, you go see it again.
Yep.
Right.
Again, I'm still going to keep reading these questions, but might be another chance on the Apple put here if the Bollinger Bands open up. You see the Bollinger Bands are tightening. That means the volume is decreasing. The liquidity is decreasing. E1's also low in the case, so it'd be nice. It'd be ideal if that cycled up a little bit more, but the direction on E2 and 3 is undeniable, and they still got quite a bit of room down. So keep an eye out for that Apple put. Larry got 4 cents on the Q put. Very nice. Charles, another name I don't quite recognize, so welcome, Charles, if you are new, and if not, then welcome to the question box. Are the rules for the strategy available other than these sessions? This is the third session today. Today is my third session, but today is the best explanation with E1, 2, 3 in sync than M1. Is this written down with more explanation for trades? Yeah, Charles, we're trying to come up with some sort of like recorded format of that or something like that. We don't get alerts when we have new people. We heard about some new people coming on today, so we made an effort to make that a focus. But we don't get alerts, so we don't know when it's people's first day. So we try to just alternate through and give help for the beginners and the experienced people, everything in between.
Hey, Mike, one thing that you might point out is that this session is being recorded today, and Susan will be posting this on YouTube in a few days and taking some of the older ones off because you only have so many on there. So you can go watch this session again and other sessions anytime you want to on the YouTube. So
yeah, there's certain ones we post on YouTube, Charles. We also have something called snapshots. We just started up our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then we've had a Twitter for a while now. But on LinkedIn and Facebook, we're doing snapshots, which is a portion of our recordings. They're little excerpts, like points, 1 to 5 minutes of really key things we say. So you can watch those really quickly, or you can go on YouTube, and we have a few full sessions on there that are about an hour and a half, if you'd like. So, but yeah, we're trying to come up with how to do that kind of intro video, so to speak, and then we hope to just find a better balance with that. And the longer you're on here, again, just like I said to Brian, it'll all make sense and be a lot clearer.
Yeah, guys, go follow us on social media. If you got LinkedIn, I know that's not as popular, but we're Micro Moment Trading LLC on there. and give us a good follow on Facebook and Instagram. We would appreciate the following as we're trying to rebuild and rebrand our goal here. We used to have a different Facebook, and so we had to rebrand and start over from scratch. So give us a good follow, guys, and we would appreciate it. There's some Micah is in charge of running all that, and he's got some really good videos he's made on there. So go check those out. They're only about like 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
And,
we would appreciate that because we something happened with Facebook, some sort of glitch. We weren't allowed to change the name for our compound stock earnings Facebook page, so we're down to 0 again, restarting that. So yeah,
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. Michael was telling me in his researching all this stuff to do all this stuff on the internet that he found some old TV things that we did a long time ago. How long ago were those, Micah? Do you think?
Oh man, I don't know.
TV shows.
Fort Worth with Aaron's, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. It was, I mean, it wasn't funny. It was just like, it was cool to see it was the same thing. The compound stock earnings, you know, methodology, everything was the same still, you know, back in the day. Compound stock earnings was explained the same way, stayed very consistent. It was cool.
yeah,
Very cool. So awesome.
give us a follow, guys.
Yep. All right, we've already been here an hour. I'm going to roll even faster. Ed got stopped out for 8 cents negative on an Apple call and then made back 3 cents on the Apple call, flat on the day. Good work, Ed. It's and good for having that stop in there too. It's a great idea, guys. Things move very fast, and it's a nice to have that level of protection. So very nice work. And there was really quick movement, Ed. So I understand. David, 5 cents on the SPY put, very nice. Ed got 3 cents on the Q put. Deshaun got another 2 cents on the SPY put, another 2.3. I think that puts him at 15.3.
Nice.
Michael
Really
says, wow, huge put. He got it from 110 to 119 on Q. Very nice. Alan bought the Apple put at 98 and sold at 102. 17. I think that's when we were talking about it right here. Oh no, I was talking about it at 12, 712. So doesn't look like anybody grabbed that. All good. I think we got about 20 cents on this little one too. I forgot where I was talking about it. It didn't fully break through, but I think I was talking about it about 297.
Hey guys, we're going to prep the 214 call on Q. We're going to keep an eye out on this here. We might give this an enter. We're looking at it not being too much of a winner, maybe 2-3 cents, but might give us a good push here. So we're going to give this a second.
This is a very nice day for all the new subscribers on here. Some days we just get straight trends, but we have nice cycles today. You see on Apple the reasons we were explaining for the put. Now it's exactly the opposite. You can see it on our lowers for Q and Apple. They've come down, they've hit the bottom of the case, and now you see for the first time, you see a little bit of blue under red on E2. This is the first, moment of crossing over. You see E3 came down, flattened out, and now it's about to head up. So you see this nice delayed time frame. E1 crossed up first, then E2, about 5 minutes later, and then another 5 minutes past that, E3 crosses up. So really nice show of top to bottom movement here on all three.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Brian, thank you for the explanation of the method today. Would you please email today's session to us so we may review it? Yeah, I think I can do that. I'm the one recording it, Sue Ann, so I don't know if I have all the emails So I might have to send it to you, something like that. We'll talk about it. Steve,
Which one of y'all posted on the excuse me, YouTube?
oh, I could maybe post it on the YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. And then we could send you all the link on, that'd probably be easier than sending you guys the video file. That's true. Steve made 3 cents and 4 cents on 2 Q puts. Very nice. David clarifies in the book. He says chapters 9 through 11. Thanks for that, David. Deshaun, time lengths on my 5 trades today. 1 minute was a 1 minute flat. Yeah, put this in perspective, guys. Deshaun, that we've been raving about all day. You've heard his trades already. He's up 15.3 on the day, I think. 1 minute was his longest trade. The next one was 14 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and 10 seconds. So pretty much 4 trades under 30 seconds. 3 trades under 16 seconds.
Crushing it, Deshaun.
Very nice. Brian said, no, almost pulled the trigger. Have many friends that are lifers, musicians as myself.
What? Who is that?
Almost pulled the trigger. Have many friends. Oh, I asked him if he was in the military as well, because he gave Tony an hoorah. So
Nice.
awesome, Brian. Larry, 10 cents on the Q put. Charles says, thanks for that, Micah. Just followed on LinkedIn. Yeah, and we are, I just, took over all the social media, so I'm getting better as well. Feel free to message me on any of the platforms and, give me any sort of things that would be better for you guys, better content that we can put out on the social media, because I'm trying to get better at that as well. And I'm not going to be, fluff up my ego or anything on the social media. I'm still learning. So.
Hey, he's doing a great job, guys. Those videos he's put together are really cool and neat to watch. And so, Micah, how often do you put those videos up there?
I'm trying to decide. I think I have 5 or 6 snapshots out there right now. Between the platforms, and I post different ones on different platforms. Yes, that's to get more followers across all. That's a tactic. But I think I'm at 5 or 6. But I think I'll do one probably once a day, once every other day at the minimum, because I can pull 3 or 4 clips from each morning session usually. If we have a lot of conversation like today, I could probably pull 8 or 9 clips out of just our conversation today. So yeah, probably every day, every other day, I think I'm gonna do that.
Hey guys, I'm a Vietnam vet. Nobody likes us.
Fair. Yeah, David is
say otherwise.
yeah, David says 30-year Army retiree here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service there, sir. That's awesome stuff.
Absolutely. And then Jay says, what was the Facebook page again? Micro Moment Trading. We are micro moment trading on everything except for LinkedIn has an LLC at the end of it. So
good stuff. Ed says he's a former Navy vet. Nice, Ed. Thanks for your service there too. My dad will be coming on here in I think next week sometime, and he's also an ex-Navy guy. He's a submariner, but yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. We got a lot of military people on here.
Yeah, I was in the Air Force Strategic Air Command.
Yes, I forgot, Joe. Nice.
Yeah. Keep forgetting me, just like all those other vets. Vietnam.
That's awesome.
That's funny. So,
Charles.
Oh, you're finished.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab Charles. Go back for it. How many contracts are you doing? How many contracts do you recommend starting out? Yeah, the contract thing, it's a little hard because we are not professional financial advisors. This is all for entertainment and learning purposes. So we can't tell you how much to buy or really recommend anything, but it's just whatever you're comfortable with. Allocation is about 10% of the account, is like a common thing unless you have a massive account in which your allocation will be less. But you know, it is a big percentage trade, and you know, we can do 3 to 5 a day. So you want to keep your size pretty small in reference to your account. Now we've had trades on here from clients anywhere from, you know, 2 to, I think we've seen a couple 300 contract trades from our clients. We do varied amounts, and we have the corporate account. We just started trading this corporate account, and we started on a new platform altogether, TradeStation. So I'm pretty small contracts right now, just to where I get all the kinks figured out on this TradeStation. We're, you know, anywhere from 20 to 40 contracts right now. Well, we're starting up on TradeStation, and then we'll get to full size.
Hey guys, hey, I just got a note from the girl behind the door.
Yeah.
That she was in the Marine Corps also.
Yes, our own Sue Ann, former
Wow.
Marine. Nice.
The Wizard of Oz.
I think we have every single branch covered here.
I think so. That's awesome.
Well, we have Mike who's in the Boy Scouts.
Nice.
Joe, I like to swear at you sometimes, but I won't. No, I was never in the Boy Scouts, I can confirm.
Yeah, guys, to piggyback off of, I think Charles' question there, if you're just starting off, guys, I would not do more than, I would do between 5 and 10 contracts, just starting off. And if you're using a new platform, sometimes a new platform, if you're switching over, you know, that can take a good amount of time. So I would always, you know, do just, you know, 5 or 10 starting off, and then work our way up. We've got some people on here, and we're gonna wrap this up here real quick because we got to get going. But we got, you know, people on here that do, you know, 20, 40, 50 contracts to 100 to 300 to 500 contracts. So you know, just pretty much off your own discretion what you want to trade with. But if you're starting off, keep the risk, the amount of money you're putting at risk low. You know, $500 to $1,000 a trade is not like, is nothing. So you should be good to go there on just using you know, that amount of contracts. So
hey, look, when you're talking about that number of contracts, that fits in real well with that thing we always throw up about $2,000. If you only, it's people following you guys only make 6% per week instead of like 24% a day. Normally y'all make over 100% per week, and in 24 months, you're 2,000 without ever putting another penny in. You just keep compounding that, gross to over $800,000, 6% per week. So.
Yep. So the math can be awesome. But Kenneth, welcome. I don't recognize the name. You might have been on for a while, but welcome to the question box. Air Force, 4 years. Nice. We got 2 Air Force people.
2 of us. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, Mike and Joe, if you guys got anything else to add, I think we're all good today. Joe, what's the total for today?
Yeah, well, for today, it's 24.75 and 28.49 on Monday. By the way, trades day, you had 5 trades today, about equals between the apps and between the apples and the Qs. And we'll be back tomorrow. And remember, everybody, nobody ever takes us up on this hardly. It's a happy hand day. Happy hand day means you throw up your little hand in there, and I unmute you, and you can talk about anything you want to talk, ask about any questions, and so on and so forth. So It's a lot of fun.
One last thing. It looks like we have a prodigy on our hands. Charles, who's just asking, you know, the intro question says, thanks for the answering today. It looks like we should be prepping for an Apple put right now, question mark. And wow, like I know it's a pretty simple strategy, but you got it. We got M1, the white line below here. We got E1, 2, and 3 cross down. So the positioning itself, you're absolutely right. The only thing that is opposing it is the lack of volume. We're very tight on the Bollinger Bands. So the positioning is there. It's just probably going to be a very small move. And also E2 and 3 are low in the case. The direction you got right, they're just pretty low. So we'd like those to be higher and then come down from a higher point. So yeah, just a lack of movement here. But as far as understanding what you want to be looking for, you nailed it. So really good job, Charles.
Yeah.
I'm severely impressed.
Really
Fantastic.
good. Great volume today. Over 7 million here in Q. So
Yeah.
huge. But anyway.
Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah, future sessions we try to keep like 45 minutes, but sometimes we go longer to explain more. So really good session today, and I'm glad everyone got a lot of value out. And we will let you know when we have the recording available on.
Let me say this one more time, because we did get several responses after I said this morning. If you're brand new and you haven't done this, you need to send to support.micromomenttrading.com an email with just your name and your cell phone number. So if these gentlemen decide to come back later on around noon or so before the market closes 3 o'clock Central Time, you'll get a text message with that they're on their way back. The screen's going to stay up here. The chart's going to move white blob. That's okay. It's supposed to. And then if they come back, it'll come back to life. So otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Happy Hand Friday.
Yep.
Awesome.
And we'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. Give us a follow, or not great weekend, sorry, great day. That's tomorrow. But give us a follow, guys, on Facebook, Instagram, Micro Moment Trading, and then Micro Moment Trading LLC on LinkedIn. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Awesome. Thank you.